Back to Old Trafford, we're kicking off the second half here as Manchester United look to maintain a 2-1 lead or even extend it if possible. And James Collins' goal at the end of the first half puts West Ham United back in it. And even on level terms, it could be a lead to an equaliser perhaps if they can carry that momentum through to the second half. So he's immediately tackled by Herrera, and that will be a West Ham throw-in. Song to Noble, and Rojo is going to force a West Ham corner. Manchester United really inviting all the pressure. Well, let's have a look at James Collins' goal at the end of the first half. Great cover by United, but James Collins just had the better header and the better aerial threat there. And it pays off, and now West Ham have another chance to show their aerial superiority over Manchester United with this corner. And United are aware of it, that's to say the least. You know, with Marcus Rojo with the header away. There's Valencia. And he sidesteps the tackle. He's going to sidestep Matt Hummels. Not really, not quite. He passes to Cresswell for support. And Cresswell looking at Luke Shaw, who's making his Old Trafford debut this afternoon. Oh, and good movement here by West Ham, but the ball is over. Wayward shot, really. And number 4 already had a horrible one there, and Danny Blind did enough just to put him off himself. So Kevin Nolan under pressure and Danny Blind. Blind's pressure paid off in the goal kick. Here's Noble. Chelsea have conceded against Aston Villa at Stamford Bridge. Lead cancelled out. There's Collins, who was booked earlier. Tompkins. Tackled by Rooney, picked up by Falcao. Carrick is actually up there in front of him. Pokes it through to Angel Di Maria. And saved by the keeper. Adrian, who was comprehensively beaten by a belter from Angel Di Maria. Left the Old Trafford crowd completely starstruck. It's a foul by Shaw. Atkinson's going to give it. Let's have a look at this upcoming fixture, and it's going to be at the Bowling Ground for West Ham United up against Queen's Park Rangers, who are currently really struggling under Harry Redknapp in the Premier League. It's never easy when you come up from the Championship. It's a whole different ball game when you reach the top division of English football, and Queen's Park Rangers and now Harry Redknapp are experiencing that firsthand, even with the continuing to sign players that Harry Redknapp does put into his philosophy. Always make the transfer window a spectacle to even watch and participate in. Queen's Park Rangers, though, have scored against Southampton and have doubled their lead, so it looks like Harry Redknapp could grab his first win of the season there. Oh, and some terrible vision by Manchester United defenders, but immediately they go back to cover it. Hummels up against Carroll, and he wasn't really going to be easily beaten. Hummels, and Carroll forces the free kick. It's going to be Zayata with this one. Of course, Manchester United with the problem with the last free kick, but that one was way over the bar. Well, Adrian with a couple of saves so far, but he was confident to be beaten by Di Maria, but not on this occasion. Good save. The goalkeeper making up for the fact that the shot he couldn't stop because Angel Di Maria just put such brilliant curve and spin on the ball there. Fantastic shot by Di Maria that not even the best of goalkeepers could possibly stop. Herrera chips it, tries to find Falcao, and Falcao sidestepped himself, unfortunately. Backed up by Angel Di Maria, who's having a brilliant game. Rooney. And he's called for offside against him. That was a problem he had against Doncaster Rovers as well. Well, he's definitely off. I think Di Maria was more concerned about staying on his feet after a starting challenge. And he got injured at Burnley, so Tompkins with the free kick. Picked up by Hummels, Blind. Di Maria, beautiful pass to Rooney. He's going to shoot. And he wanted to emulate Di Maria's goal with a shot himself. Wayne Rooney with that enthusiasm. And you see something he wants to try and emulate it. And don't forget, Wayne Rooney had that stunning goal from just below the halfway line last season. So he is capable of those type of goals. Carroll. No. Zayete. Cresswell. So, Zayete. Tackled by Shaw. Stunning debut for Luke Shaw so far. He's going to look to find Wayne Rooney. It's going to be knocked away. Is Wayne Rooney being called for offside again? Yes, he is. Wayne Rooney is already straying offside a lot recently. Don't think Shaw expected it to reach him, to be honest. And he almost didn't, but after he got the ball, it would have been fair on West Ham not to call it. Because, you know, he didn't get the first touch on the ball, he was involved in the play. Shaw. Herrera. Only onside this time. On the way to Falcao. Falcao trying to bring it under control. Di Maria tries to get it. Blind is now on it. Blind, you could probably say, was fouled. Rooney gets it back. Right old battle going on here, and Wayne Rooney with that work ethic himself. We document Aaron Hillwards a lot, but Rooney is just the same. Di Maria. And for another. He's trying from outside the box, but West Ham were afraid of that and decided to close him down immediately. Showing to Di Maria. This is just beautiful passing by Manchester United at times when they have the ball. Di Maria with Herrera rather with the cross. What are you doing now? Valencia is going to be on his own against Matt Hummels, and he immediately turns away. He knows what Matt Hummels can do. West Ham still had the ball. Here comes Raphael. West Brom have doubled their lead against struggling Burnley. 2-0 there, and Burnley, it looks like they're going to go another game of a loss without 3 points. Another point at all. It's going to be 5 losses out of 5 for Burnley, and it's going to be a problem for their manager. Falcao. I mean, Queen's Park Rangers, you could say, sympathise. Herrera. He's not scored for Manchester United yet. Or has he, actually? I barely remember, it's been such a while. Manchester United throw. The season's flown by so fast. Herrera. Di Maria, and immediately James Collins goes to deal with it. West Ham alert to Angel Di Maria. They know what a threat he can be. Starting back with Shaw. Herrera, Rooney, Carrick. Falcao is ahead of him. Carrick loses it. Well, no goals to speak of in this second half. Cresswell. Noble. He's going to be met by Blind here. A tackle from Blind. Falcao. Rooney. Goes back to Herrera. Herrera avoids the sliding challenge. Rooney. And Martin Atkinson is going to break a leg back for a foul. Somewhere. Sam Allardyce brings off Carl Jenkinson for Joey O'Brien. Substitution. Carl Jenkinson, who's not had a bad game. And he's enjoying his time at West Ham for a start. He was a regular pick for Arsenal. Lind. Wayne Rooney. Rooney decides to hit it. And West Ham are certainly not letting Manchester United have it all their own way here. And they know what kind of threat they can be from long range. Look at that goal from Angel Di Maria. And Mato in the last game, in fact, against Doncaster Rovers, so they know West Ham definitely coming out here with a good game plan. Andre Herrera. "10 minutes remaining. Manchester United, you have to say, do look the most likely to score at the moment. It's Cresswell, but there's always that small inkling that West Ham could get something here. And one of the West Ham players is down. And Falcao puts it out of play for him. Good show of sportsmanship, just to make sure he's okay. West Ham get the foul, the ball, rather. As Zayate comes off for Carlton Cole. This will be an interesting decision by Sam Allardyce. Carlton Cole looking to make a mark. So I believe he was a potential England pick, but injuries have really halted him in that regard, which is unfortunate, because Carlton Cole is a good prospect for England, but injuries have held him back a little bit. And Cresswell is apparently up. He was the player that went down earlier. And now Di Maria. Manchester United, you do have to admire Van Gaal's structure, as he really has brought great players into this team, despite not being in the Champions League. Carrick to Falcao. There's good to Carrick. There's it off for Rooney, brilliant to... Oh, and the turn was almost perfect. And Hummels clears it to Luke Shaw. Herrera pokes it through immediately to Rooney. He was asking Di Maria to get forward. He did, but the pass was blocked. And Shaw, step there, but he immediately gets the ball back. I don't mind that about Manchester United. Until they lose the ball, they do their best to get it back. 4 minutes to go. There's Blind. Falcao. Carrick is in front, and Rooney is there as well. Right. Goes past Falcao. And Valencia is going to meet Matt Hummels. Or Carlton Cole is, rather. No, look. Oh, that's a delicious chip. And the header wasn't as good, and David De Gea took advantage. Grabbed it comfortably. Falcao is rather screaming at Di Maria to get forward. And he is. Sliding out, Di Maria, and Adrian stops him again. Oh, and that could be a case for a penalty. Right, Manchester United had the ball with Rooney, and Adrian just about gathering that. Adrian is facing a few late tests, 5 minutes of added time at the end of the second half. And I don't know, is it offside against Carlton Cole, I think, yes. Oh, yep, it's offside. That myself, and Di Maria is brought down, free kick, and looked to go past, and the referee's going to bring it back. It's going to be Wayne Rooney from 24 yards. We know he can hit them from here. Rooney, oh, it's up. Adrian, I think, saved it, or it's on the bar. Wayne Rooney's come close a couple of times with those free kicks. He's immediately dispossessed by Noble, but now Noble's got to run for it. He probably just made Rooney more angry. He was with the tackle. Falcao's probably going to be called off for offside. Yes, he is. Manchester United were given a bit of a scare at the end of the first half, when West Ham had brought themselves back into the game from James Collins, my apologies. Well, there hasn't been really much else to report since then. Been chances across the board for both teams, but there could be one last throw of the dice from West Ham, and that will not materialise. Time is up. Manchester United with another close victory, one that they need. Another 3 points for Louis Van Gaal. Di Maria steals the headlines with a beauty goal to open the scoring. Michael Carrick extended the lead. James Collins brought them back, but unfortunately that was the end of the goals. So it finishes Manchester United 2, West Ham 1 rather, but Di Maria's goal steals the limelight today. The other results from the Barclays Premier League today in another classic North London derby. It's Spurs who take the honours with a 2-1 win. Chelsea's thumping of Aston Villa was complete, even though Villa did get a goal back at Stamford Bridge. They were an equaliser for a while, but Chelsea capitalised on their power and won by 3-1. Crystal Palace and Leicester City, a nice victory for them at the Selhurst Park. Manchester City comprehensively and comfortably beating Hull City. In the Merseyside derby, it's Liverpool who take the honours. It's plenty of derby days and Liverpool take the honours on Merseyside. Manchester United beat West Ham 2-1. Queen's Park Rangers finally off the board, and Harry Redknapp can breathe a sigh of release as his side won at Southampton 2-0. Fort Britannia was broken down by Newcastle United, and Newcastle United take the win there. Sunderland take a 2-1 win at Swansea City, and Burnley's struggles continue with a loss at 2-0 at West Bromwich Albion. Meaning for the tables that Liverpool still lead thanks to a goal difference advantage, which has been cut down to 1. Chelsea now moving to 3rd, with Spurs at 4th, with thanks to their win at Arsenal. Stoke City still in a very impressive 5th. Manchester City still sitting in 9th, but it's very, very early days. Everton 11th. Well, the West in the relegation zone, it's West Ham, Leicester City, and Burnley with 6 losses from 6, still no points.